Today we're going to talk about the verbs in French, and the first thing to talk about is the groups. So we are going to talk about the regular and the irregular verbs. So first of all, why do you need to know this? Very simply put, because it will help you conjugate every verb in every tense. You need to know what group they belong to in order to know what ending to put in front of them. They will follow a particular pattern, and by knowing the group, you will know which pattern to follow. So here's the rule. There are three main groups of verbs in French. The first group, we call it in French, are all the verbs that finish in ER. All the verbs, in ER, apart from one, which is aller. Okay, you need to know this. Aller is an irregular verb. It means to go. We use it for a lot of things, for a lot of tenses. And you have to know aller is completely irregular, but it's the only one. So the first group is often considered the easier group because all the verbs follow the same pattern. They're all regular apart from that one. The second group, called the second group, is all the verbs in IR. All the verbs in IR, that is not actually correct. There are a lot of irregular verbs in IR. And we are going to do a lesson on how to determine which ones are regular and which ones are not regular. Here, I'm giving you some of the most common ones that are not regular that you need to know. So courir, mourir, partir, sortir, tenir, and venir, but there are other ones. In the third group, we would refer to the verbs ending in RE, such as perdre or vendre. However, the third group has loads of irregular verbs. Boire, connaître, croire, dire, mettre, and prendre are only a few that I have selected because there are some common ones that you will come across in lessons. But there are a lot of irregular verbs in RE. So remember, ER verbs, regular apart from aller, IR verbs, mostly regulars, some are irregular, and RE verbs in the third group, but to take with a pinch of salt, as a lot of them are irregular. There are about 100 plus irregular verbs in French. You cannot and do not need to know all of them. There are other endings in irregular verbs, such as AIRE, like faire, IRE, like dire, for example, OIR, OIRE, PRE, and TRE, for example. So they do have RE in it, but they are irregular. So here are some examples. I'm inviting you to pause to try to do this exercise before I correct so that you can check if you've understood. So put the verbs in the correct category. So avoir finishes in OIR, and also one of the most common irregular verbs, irregular. Aimer finishes in ER. It is not aller, to go. It is second. Faire finishes in RE, however, it is irregular. It is technically an AIRE verb. Then you have achever finishes in ER, not aller, completely regular group. Venir is one of the irregular verbs in IR. As you may know, we say je viens, tu viens, etc., and not je venis. So no 5, although it's IR. Aller, the one irregular verb in ER. You need to know that one, sorry. Then we have chérir, IR verb that is regular. So, vouloir, OIR, ending, always irregular. Then grandir, IR verb that is regular. Descendre, RE verb that is regular, that follows pattern. 11 is devenir, just like venir, devenir is also irregular. You'll see there's a lot of verbs that have a prefix in front of them, but they will follow the same pattern. So just like venir, devenir is irregular. Then we have répondre, RE verb that is regular. Habiter, ER verb, not aller, they're regular. And then finally, we have réussir. There is an IR verb réussissons. It is a regular one. There you go. So as you may have noticed, I have to think about it as well. Sometimes the first groups are really the easiest one. You will not be tricked in a lot of lessons and things. You will know which verbs are regular just by practicing them, okay? And as you can see, there are a lot of irregular verbs, which we will go through in further lessons, and that you have already encountered for most of them. So I will put a link right here for you to go and check that you've understood with a little exercise that will then link you to also further practice, harder practice for you to check whether you've understood the groups and the verbs, the regulars and the irregulars. In next lessons, we will talk about how to spot an irregular IR verb. I consider this a level 2 because you don't need to know this by the end of third form, but by the end of form, you may want to know this. Most common irregular verbs you must know and that you should already know. If you don't, go check this lesson. And modal verbs as well that you have already encountered and need to know are the 3 next lessons. And I will see you then.